guys, it's Monica and welcome back. So today we're going to be making a scrapbook paper glitter tumbler. So I know you have been walking around your local Michaels and seeing these lovely sheets of scrapbook paper. They only go for about $1.25 and you can put them on tumblers. Yes, you can. Absolutely. And so this is definitely a much more affordable alternative to vinyl, printable vinyl, which I will be doing a video on printable vinyl this month. Because remember, January, new year, we're building our businesses, we're perfecting our techniques, we're getting better at the things that we do, and we're just being bosses, period. Okay? And so I want to show you guys how you can use this affordable alternative to vinyl and put it on a tumbler. And so what I like to do, and I will do a video if you guys want to see it. Leave me a comment below, thumbs up the video, all that good stuff. Subscribe. If you want to see me do this on a whole cup, I will do that. But for this specific video, I'm just doing like a half and half. And so I like to make the paper the same sizes that I want it. Now, if you call yourself a crafter and you are a crafter and you don't got one of these little paper cutters, I don't trust you. I'm gonna just go ahead and say that right now. If you don't have one of these, I don't trust you. Mine is literally like 5 years old and I've never replaced the 2 blades that came with it. But it always comes in handy for cutting vinyl, paper, labels, anything I've ever needed. So at this point, I'm just lining it up, seeing where I wanted it. Of course, like in my mind, I'm like, it has to be Roy G. Biv. So I wanted the red hearts at the top. I don't know if y'all might think like me, but that's just where I went with it. And so now that it's all lined up, sizing looks pretty good. It's okay to cut it. It's always cut it over, not cut it under. So remember that part. And so cut it pretty much almost the size, just slightly over, and now we're ready to apply it. And so I am using Mod Podge. People are going to ask, how did I prep my cup? I do not prep my cups because sometimes as long as you got good technique, it'll all work out. If you feel more comfortable, sanding your cup and all that, go for it. Me personally, the only prep that I do is that I clean my cups with alcohol, 70% isopropyl alcohol, and that is the only prep that I do when I make tumblers. Again, if you do yours differently, girl, that is fine, great and dandy. It don't really matter. We don't need to argue about it. So for this, when using the scrapbook paper, don't be like me when I first started. You need a good amount of glue. You would think you're just trying to get the paper to stick, so you need like a thin layer. If you do the thin layer, it's going to stick on there and it's going to dry and you're going to be stuck with however you get it on there the first time. So you don't want it like, it's so hard. I hope y'all can like see based on the video how it looks. You don't want it sopping wet, but you do want it to have a little slip. And when I say a little slip, that means that when I put this paper on here, the paper is in place, but if I took both of my thumbs and shifted it up a little bit, it would also move. You want to be able to move it with a little bit of force. You still want it to move, but you don't want it so that when I'm rubbing my palm on it, it's moving. So you got to find that good balance of how much glue to use, but you always want to use a little more than you actually think. But you also don't, it's so weird to describe. You also don't want the paper to be feeling like super wet, like you ran it under the faucet. So again, finding that happy ground, and if y'all can tell how much glue I'm using that's on my brush, I found that to be pretty much the perfect amount of glue. And you see my fingers have glue all over them and all that. It happens. And so then once I get it all on there, I like to just take my fingers, because you want to keep working this while the glue is wet until it dries, to make sure that no glue bubbles get up under there causing bubbles, and then once it dries, it's stuck like that and you can't flatten it out. So make sure you keep working it, work those bubbles. Probably off camera, I probably work this for about 3 or 4 extra minutes, just to make sure that you like what I'm doing with my thumb right here, and my fingers. Just make sure you keep working it down, pushing out any extra glue that may be under that the paper was like, don't need it. So you just want to keep doing that just with your finger. If you're more comfortable, you can use what is that thing? Like the little squeegee tool, but be careful with those, because it is paper, so you could rip it. So just be careful. But like, as you see, as it dries and as the glue like kind of soaks into the paper a little more, you're going to want to make sure you're working out those wrinkles and those bubbles. So keep that in mind. I wasn't going to bore y'all with showing y'all that though, because it's pretty boring and you kind of just sit there and wait to see what happens. And yeah, so let that dry for an hour, come back an hour later, and you're going to just coat it in Mod Podge again. And I am using the glossy Mod Podge. It does not matter. They are all decoupage. They are all glue. Shit, Elmer's might work. So I'm not gonna say that though. Use the Mod Podge, but any Mod Podge will work. But the glossy one is the most popular one, and the one that's the yellow one. What is that? The matte one. But yeah, it'll all work. You just want to make sure you seal it, and make sure you seal this really good as well, because if you're going to be epoxying it or covering in some type of coating, you don't want there to be a bare spot, because then when that epoxy soaks in, it's going to create a wet spot. It's just like fabric tumblers, y'all. And if you want to make fabric tumblers and you don't know how, I have a video on that as well, bright tone and epoxy, that I will link below. And if I don't link it below, I'm sorry, just go look through the channel. It's not too far back, I promise. And make sure you glue your corners down good. My corners weren't glued down good on this one, and I'll show y'all what happened. So that's how it should look. If you use the glossy Mod Podge, it'll be shiny and beautiful, and you're like, oh, this is cute. So I let that dry for another hour, and now I'm just using my edging tool because I'm using glitter. You don't have to do this part, completely optional. You can just take an X-Acto knife and cut around the top and bottom rims if you want it to go from top to bottom completely, or you can do like me and take a little off the top, take a little off the bottom. It had a little piece that got like a little stuck. I just ran it back. I wasn't trying to stab the cup, you know what I'm saying? Because, whoo, I can get a little heavy-handed at times. So yeah, I went ahead and taped off the edges. And be careful when you do this. I had one piece of tape that's going along the long side on there a little too hard. And I'll show y'all what happened. So this is the shade Ever After. This is from our Valentine's Day 2022 collection. You can pick up over on our website, period6glitter.com. If you're within, ear reach of me and you think about leaving a comment asking where the glitter came from, it came from period6glitter.com, sis. Don't play with me, please. Like, I'm over here doing it for the girls. Okay, so yeah. So now Mod Podge again. So I had a big thing, y'all. Like, I don't know. I had to take like a personal break from crafting. And so like a lot of my stuff like dried up. Like I had a big thing of Mod Podge. It was just completely dried out on me. That Counterculture DIY prime time that I had, I opened it up. It was completely dry on me. I'm like, what the hell happened? And like my craft room is very cold. And so it's like, it feel like it'd be on 60 sometimes. But I was like, what happened while I was gone in the house, just on a different side of the house? Like, what happened over here? But anyways, yeah. So that's why you see me working out of that little thing. But if you make a lot of tumblers, or if you're really trying to get into, like, get in your groove, definitely suggest buying the big thing. I miss the good old days when Michael used to have that 40% off coupon. Because let me tell you something, baby. I would take my husband in there, and I would do 2 transactions, and I would ball out till I fall out with my 2 little items. So yeah, so as you can see, I lifted up the corner on this side of the tumbler. Easiest way to fix that, take a little paintbrush, stick a little glue beneath the edge, press it down, let it sit, watch it, make sure it stays adhered to that cup, and you'll be fine. Somebody will be like, it's probably because you didn't prep your cup. Girl, be quiet. I'm still not prepping this cup, because glue, that's what glue is. Glue makes 2 surfaces stick together, because that's what we're doing here. All right, and so I didn't have any sealer. Like I said, I took a crafting break. I was going to go buy new things. Didn't feel like it. I got a lot going on. Maybe one day I'll tell y'all. Maybe one day I won't. But I was out of sealant. Had nothing. And I'm like, girl, go back to what you know. And so I'm sealing it with Mod Podge yet again. Yes, you can use Mod Podge as your glitter sealer. You don't have to go outside and spray paint. You don't have to buy all this other stuff from Illuminite, Counterculture, whoever else is making sealer. If you don't want to, seal it with your Mod Podge. All right. And so I did go ahead and epoxy it off camera. If y'all want to see epoxy, I got that. And then I did these vinyls. My camera died. So I did a layered vinyl design that says Coffee is my Valentine, because this is our Valentine's Day cup. These are January's for Valentine's Day. And so this is the final look. And so, yeah, I'm sorry, like that last part went really fast. And you're like, wait, how did we go from a glitter cup to an epoxied and a vinyl cup? But I'm not trying to waste y'all time. I'm trying to make these quick. Y'all said y'all want them shorter. Y'all said I'd be long-winded with it. So this is what you get. So this is the cup. It's really super pretty. Like I said, I had a lot going on. I had every intention of lining that area like with like borders around it, but I completely forgot because I had some stuff. Again, not trying to put y'all in my business, but I had stuff going on. But it still came out cute because I made sure everything was as crisp as it could be. And so yeah, if you like these kind of videos, don't forget to give a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram at Period6Designs. Follow us on TikTok at Period6Glitter. Subscribe to this channel. Comments, questions, leave them below. And I will see you guys in the next one.